what I think is good about this space, even though it's not my aesthetic, is that it's being used. And, you know, there's a concert going on, and there's these little booths where children are hanging out doing their thing. We're looking at stuff, probably getting some popcorn. It looks a little imposed on the landscape to me, and it's certainly a celebration of mass consumerism and brands. But, you know, something for everybody. Is that cities are never done, and cities are a work in progress. So there's always time to tweak this. You know, it's an open space that can be made more interesting, more user-friendly, more active over time. So it's something that's a template that you can work with. I also like the fact that there's music here. I mean, I think the best thing about it is the use of the space and the music. You know, one thing I've learned from my time in Toronto is that everything is controversial, and that, you know, people love this city so much, and it's a big change. Its development model has changed so fundamentally in the past 20 years, from a city that was mainly low-rise, for better or worse was sleepy, that was mainly an Anglo city, to this incredible mosaic, melting pot, hodgepodge, kaleidoscope of people and building styles. Some of it's great, and some of it's not so great. But I think what I love about Toronto is it's this kind of incredible work in progress. Where else could you see that kind of difference in, not even socioeconomic stuff, but in landscape and architecture? It's like almost mind-bending. I like this idea of coming down the street kind of in these low-rise buildings, you know, some of them upscale shops, in quotations, some of them kind of mom and pop operations. But when you enter that, you know, when you enter near Eaton Center in the square, it's kind of this sense of, boy, I really entered something different. This is really interesting. Just really, really interesting. It's really beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful. And I'm not a guy who mass retailing and malls, like, it's not this. Well, there are two things that I like about it. One, I think the ceiling, the glass ceiling, the arcade feel, and the tightness of it, in contrast to these very expansive laid out, the tightness of it, it has an urban geography to it. You know, it feels like a lane in a street in an urban center. And I like the human energy. I mean, what I like about this is the human energy, the people. But Toronto has one of the greatest sources of energy, human energy in the world, of any city in the world. You know, and just look at it. And there are people everywhere. I love creative energy. I love the arts. I love music. I love the fact that we have one of the greatest music scenes in the world here right now. But I think you're right. I think there's other kind of energy, and we should at least give it a chance. And I think one of the problems is sometimes we think it's bad. You know, sometimes some people in Toronto think, well, commercial energy is bad. It's too consumerist. It's too American. It's too mass culture. You know, if everything becomes one giant mauled society, no, that isn't good. But this is about fine. The one thing I think that Toronto has, though, it has this mixture. And I hope, I mean, I really hope that this can survive. I'm not sure it can, but I hope it can.
Yeah.
I'm glad we came here.
Cool.
You need a coffee or what?